Wassail, Taurus. That was an interesting tune. Don't know what they're going to be till they come out. So look at you, patient bulls. You're last. That doesn't happen very often, but we went the wrong way round. Which is weird because actually we started with Aries. If we were really going the wrong way around, I should have started with Pisces. But I went where I was ordered, and we have finally got to you, and how very patient you have been. So, this is the Great Cosmic Reset series, and it started really around the notion of the 29th of January, when the beautiful Chiron reached 9 degrees and 9 minutes of Aries, which is why I started there, and it went into conjunction with the fixed star Alchemy, which is the tip of the wings of Pegasus. So it was like taking flight. It was like growing into your healing, Chiron being given its wings to be healed. And so we're asking, first of all, what would Pegasus and what would Chiron like to say to you, but the other way around. It's interesting that that came out as a reversal. Maybe there's some kind of reversal frequency that's part of your message. So, what would Chiron like to say to Taurus? Divine seer. And what would Pegasus like to say to Taurus? Smoky mirror. So it is something reversing. Smoky mirrors are looking into a mirror and trying to see the clarity of our own image. See yourself in your truth is your healing. Sitting in your truth. This is interesting because what I'm getting here is a sense of spiritual truths. It's like the reflection of Buddha, I'm not saying Buddha, but the images of some kind of deity being distorted by a drowning figure. I often talk about this drowning figure. Oh, that's really weird. I'm getting another face now in the bottom of that image. And it's like a tiny face made up of the nose and the chin and the mouth of Buddha. Tiny voice. It's like the little alien thing that comes out of the big alien's head, but then behind the halo I'm seeing like a dark angelic figure that don't look quite right. So there's something about nightmares, distortions, but they're so beautiful that they are in themselves enticing. That's an odd energy. Right, I'm going straight into the Lenormand with that. I feel like aching feet is an energy I'm getting. Like I need to kick off my shoes. The balls of your feet, your hooves, you've walked too much. Although they're saying to me, no, they haven't, they're just bone idle. So that must be part of seeing a truth. Self-excuses for laziness? I don't know. Let's see what comes. Oh, but honestly, the ache in your feet is unbelievable. What would you like to tell Taurus about seeing themselves in the nightmares? Seeing through the nightmares? Oh, your feet are really, really hurting, Taurus. So uncomfortable. Like lactic acid build-up in your legs. Oh God, I want to get out this reading really quickly. That's so painful. I mean, I've got a toothache, but my feet are now hurting more than my tooth. Well, this is complicated. It's such beautiful energy, but it feels like it's nightmarish. So you have House 7, partnerships. This is describing a nightmare. This is really odd because it's describing beautiful sensual energy. News coming in. Ah, now I see. Bad choices in partners. Very, very bad choices in partners. You've got man holding a weasel. Doesn't always come across as a weasel, but you've got Mercury as news coming in. There's like, I feel like snakes in the grass, narcissists. Why is that the feet though? There's something to do with having not... I'm trying to find an energy that will come in as I touch my foot to bring a softening to that frequency. So there's something about not walking a lot, and I don't mean that you can't walk, I mean you just can't be bothered. Like, there's something about dating, can't be bothered. It's like, do you know what? I'd rather spend an evening with a box of beautiful chocolates. There's something like the excuse, the feet hurt because you're not engaging in life. Life is about walking into situations. And somehow your relationships mirror this energy of, and we just talked about, it did come up in Gemini, but not in terms so much of a partner. But you might want to look at it because it helps to explain the kind of origins of a mirror soul, and yours has never been anything near that. There's this endless sense of, I want to say, kind of trapped within relationships. Like there's a kind of a fearful energy around relationships. Oh, now they're showing me, which is interesting. The trap is an ancient energy of feet being bound, so that you can't leave a toxic relationship. I'm not saying you've had your feet bound, I'm not saying you've, any of that, but there's an ancient energy. It's playing into the legs. I feel like I've got to move my legs, straighten my legs. I want to kind of stand up and shake my legs. There's an energy of, it's not pins and needles, but it's borderline that frequency, like you're not grounded. You're not grounded. You're riding on the horse, and if you got off the horse, the snake would bite you. You're fixed. Earth, why are you not grounded? And they're showing me you like sitting on a sofa, again, lying, but with your feet off the ground. Why are you afeared to ground? What's going on? It's interesting, Uranus flashed at the bottom, Gaia. Uranus is in your sign at the moment, and Uranus is causing kind of stresses. That energy of something trying to bust frequencies. And it's like you just can't bring yourself to be engaged and grounded. It's interesting in that the only time you've been grounded, and yet, was when you were in a bad relationship and you were grounded because you couldn't leave, you couldn't move. There was a kind of, it's like being mentally ungrounded but being physically grounded. And at first, delusional. At first, an energy of Eden, an energy of paradise. And it's that song, they've paved paradise and put up a parking lot. It's that energy that piece by piece of paradise was lost. Paradise lost. There's a constellation called Crux. There's a connection to that energy. Why? Why? I need to look it up. Give me a sec. Oh, I've opened the books. Don't need the book I'm reading, I need pages open. Right, the foot pain is going. Let me just flick to the last constellation note that I made. It's the smallest constellation. Your dreams, your world, the vastness of opportunity. It begins, I've been listing all of my constellations in their area size. And so Taurus, actually I didn't think to look for that. Where's Taurus? I have to just go through slowly to catch Taurus. You're the 17th largest constellation, and you're actually Ishtar's bull of heaven, the brightest star being Aldebaran, and it's an emotional resurgence, but it's also the ancient energy of to dredge something up, to dredge up what's gone wrong. So now let me go to this Crux one, which is the smallest of all the constellations. I'm sure it's got a link to Paradise Lost. So it's called Crux, it's the 88th constellation, it's the smallest. And it's called the Southern Cross, it's the Paradise Ray. It's the brightest star is Crux. It's the lost aquamarine frequency of creation. That's very intriguing. I don't know where this is going. Let's see. To me, it feels like your world was cut smaller and smaller. Paradise was paved over. Dreams were lost to loves, false loves, manipulative loves. Now there's a ringing in this ear of the past. We're tuning in to this message. This is an uncomfortable energy, I'm being shown you standing on a postage stamp as if that's your life, and actually whether you're alone now, or whether that's been something you've gone through or need to break free from, the notion of like sofa surfing, the soreness of the feet, there is nowhere to ground yourself. You don't trust your own heart. Oh, Taurus. Oh, that's interesting. That card's landed and fell. There's something about that being a court frequency. Oh, it's earth. It's you can't earth. It hovered, it wobbled, and then just fell. This is your sign. This is to be grounded and open and stable. And you can't, and there's a hummingbird singing little Venus heart songs. Lunar eclipse. Right, this is interesting. No, I misread the number there. Just check. Mars and Mercury. Like, where's your heart? There's something about this refinding paradise, and your paradise is under that tarmac, and that tarmac can be lifted, it can be removed. Tarmac is just grit, crap, gravel in a sticky tar, and when they want to dig it up, they just apply heat and flame to melt it so that you can scrape everything away. So the lunar eclipse is the 14th. Oh, that's 13. No, that was the one that was giving me the 13. The lunar eclipse is on the 16th, of May, but it's in Taurus season, and the moon is in Scorpio, and that's South Node. You've got to review where you came from and why you needed to go through the heartache, the heartbreak, the relationship toxicity to learn, but I'm not sure you have. Well, you've learned you don't want to do it again, but you've kind of put yourself into a format where you don't want to do anything again. And that's not your frequency. It's a real sense of a really broken heart, Taurus. I am hearing you and feeling you. Taurus. Come on. Right. I'll just pop these under there. I might have to have a sip of water, Taurus. That was interesting. So I'd have a sip. I had the whole half litre. Are you emotionally eating, Taurus? Are you consuming all the wrong things, Taurus? I've already seen that big fat box of chocolates. And yeah, they do give you comfort. But they're not right. So what's interesting is we've got Kawa. Kawa is the most incredible frequency. And I feel like this Kawa opportunity is coming to you during the lunar eclipse. It's the energy of the cosmic shaman. I feel like I've got no idea I feel like you're about to experience a historic dream from 289 years ago, or thereabouts. That's how long it takes Kawar to go around the solar system. So some energy's returning from... Yeah, now this is interesting. Kawar's in Capricorn. So obviously Kawar was also in Capricorn. It's at 6:31, 6 degrees 31 minutes. And it's on top of Pholus, the law of unintended consequences. They're in conjunction. And I'm being shown... Well, I'm being shown your hooves and the feet. I'm being shown the bound feet, whether it's a dream to do with being bound so that you couldn't move around. I'm also being shown cloven hooves, and I'm also being shown Capricorn's fishtail. Capricorn's a very important frequency at the moment. It's worth looking at the Capricorn reading. Seems like you've got to look at all of the readings. So this is... The cosmic shaman is an energy from Native American Indian culture that's a true mystical experience. A singer of existence. It's the sacred song of life. It sings all of the other energies. It sings the sun and the moon and the earth into being. It creates the physical truths. It wants you to sear and connect to that kind of frequency. And yet, it's coming with a quincunx, which is to be at odds and not speaking to existence. It's never come out as that energy before. You're not rationalizing or challenging yourself. You just see gloom. Change a tune. So, Kawar is almost like... They're showing me this as down here, as being this line and this being part of this insertion that forms this square Q of Kawar, as a kind of not vocalizing, not speaking, not materializing through the energy of Galdir, not working with a frequency. I'm feeling such a depression from you. Such a depression. It's really difficult. I'm swinging now because we've had nothing but sore feet, difficult legs, overconsumption. It's a really energy. But it's lifting. That's the whole point. Kawar is to sing things into a new existence. So let's look at that. Let's go to here. Look, this energy of bound feet, bound to something that has no right of ownership over you. They're also saying sometimes it's been self-bounding, deliberately choosing to chain yourself to something through a misguided heart and not seeing a truth. They're saying this is a very ancient energy, but it's not so much ancestral as just something that's like an old songline. That's just in many forms. It could be bound to love. It could be bound to children. It could be in servitude. It could be, you know, enslaved. It could be, it's just an ancient energy of a kind of dark magnetic pull that can't be resisted. So, Taurus, how are you going to get out of it? What does Taurus need to do? Oh, that's so interesting. When I picked up the cards, just one card was peeping through up the wrong way, and I said, oh, it's a sweat lodge. It's a divine sweat lodge. It's a kind of, I just thought it's not part of the reading. It's come back out. And we always say, just put it back if you're not sure, and it'll come out if it needs to come out, because sometimes things are. Right, I'm getting an energy. Right, first of all, the sweat lodge. Walking, being freed, coming out of an ancient distortion. It's coming. But I'm also getting, because that's 5 for a divine 9, I'm getting this 8 frequency of a kind of code. But this feels like dreams or stories or meditations. And I want to say, I'm not saying that there are 8 of them. Let me just look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like it is 5. It's like 5 stories. It doesn't mean they wouldn't be all in one dream. But there's like 5 hands or 5 colours. Some are single hands, some are double. So the double frequencies is the brown, the red, and the deep sort of green. Maybe there's a 6th that you don't notice until it's achieved. There's a kind of deep green navy colour. And then there's a white hand and there's a pink hand. So do they all have a different story? So I'm going to ask for 5 cards and see if we get a story. I don't know. We just have to see. Can we have, please, I don't know whether they're the cards though. It's not 5. That's too many big energies. This is a closer knit story somehow. Let's go with the Thoth. Thoth for Taurus. 5 aspects of sort of ancient tales that just keep echoing through time. Can we please have, I'm not putting them in any order, I'm not saying this is the one of the red hands, or we just want 5 cards. I said that there might be a 6th colour, and it came up with, it's so interesting. You've got to be able to see the energy similarity between the layout of those cards. Yeah, there's 8 hands, but they're in 6 colour washes. And it's moon in Taurus. Then the moon in Taurus is the solar eclipse on the 30th of April. But then while we're sun in Taurus, the moon's in Scorpio and it creates a lunar eclipse. So this is about the tunnel. Okay, so the six, now we've got it. I didn't need 6 cards. I only needed this one. So we need to look at the relationships of Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, the Moon, Mercury, and Mars. So and there at the moment, it's interesting. They're all compressed. They're the classical planets. They're all compressed, missing the sun. They're all compressed into just 61 degrees of the entire zodiac, from 6 degrees of Capricorn through to, I have to get this right and tell you it exactly. Mars is at 6 degrees of Capricorn, and Jupiter's at 7 degrees of Pisces, making it just 61 degrees. It's a kind of sextile. It's a real compression, and there's something about that that's a compression to squeeze through. So, we don't need those. I'm going to go with the Odin and the 9 Realms, because I think we need a theme for this. What's it all about? How does Taurus get out of this then? What does Taurus need to do in the tunnel? It's like a real squeeze. It's a real molasses. It's a real effort. So what does Taurus need to do to get out of this sticky situation? How do they waken their heart back up? How do they engage with enthusiasm? How does Taurus get some vitality back? Come on, Taurus. Come on, Taurus. How do you bust free from the gloom? Come on, Taurus. Like in my head, I'm here and I don't want to. Elfamir. That's really interesting. Because the Elfamir was the story in Gemini that I just said to you about the individuality and the duality, the polarity, the reality of mirroring another soul. How do they get out? That lifted up and flew back in. It's truth. There's something about this card though with Geffen. I always think of the Geffen card as being very Taurian. It's the energy of the wronged. Shadows. I just have to put that on there. The wind's blowing the book over. There's something originally, before the shadows came out, I'm getting with these 2 cards, Taurus, this frequency of you stand wronged, and yet the elven ring is going, and why can't you see that that's the exact shadows you were meant to experience? Why do you want to stand, look, yeah, in Geffen's truth, but why do you want to stand on the side of the wronged? Why do you collectively gather around a kind of wronged, victimed energy? It's a fixed energy. It needs to be changed. And the elves, they're trying so hard to question you. There's a knowingness in their eyes, which was, what did you expect? If you want to clear a smoky mirror, It's clearing shadows. It's not losing paradise and then blaming the world because you were caught in that journey. You were meant to experience that journey. Yeah, it's horrible. It's been controlled. It's been the inability to move. But that's why you're Taurus. You've got to unfix Taurus. You don't have to believe in being wronged. Believe that you made the wrong choices to right them. So let's go back into these. Interesting, look on the bottom is Taurus. In your kind of Venus pink loving frequency that surrounds Geffen, but they're standing on the old grey stones of the old stories. I mean, it's that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, or the road to yeah. So, the healing. Oh, these cards are getting really muddled under the towel with the wind. Soul ablutions. So, this is purify your status, purify your standing, purify your public image. Soul ablutions is to be at your toilette, to wash, to change, to transform. Self-atonement and sort of reconnect with your cosmic ambitions. Shine. Purify. And then you have conjunction. I feel like more than anything, this really is a moment for your destiny change, because the North Node is in Taurus, and it moved there on the day that Gaia Uranus turned round in Taurus. It's very much the season of Taurus, and sitting on a sofa eating chocolates is not engaging with your destiny. It's avoiding your destiny. And this is about merging. Amplifying the heart. What do I want to say? They're showing me the heart being massaged back to health. Like going in and pushing the shadows out from the hurt in your heart. And then you've got Sappho. And Sappho is the only constellation named after a real person, a poet. And there's something about the merging of your mirror, the merging of your Venus frequency, but it's not, it's like you're a little bit drunk, double vision, and you need to fine tune your love. You need to merge these two grey, shadowy hearts and just bring them back into a focus to move forwards. It's like, again, sensual bathing rituals, soul ablutions. You need somehow to do a water cleansing. Now, whether that's in a bathtub with lots of wonderful salts or essential oils or herbs from the garden or oatmeal, just You need those, some kind of moment to ablute, to clean and to purify, but in water. Because it's in the water, the emotions that are fogged. The shadows need to be sort of pushed into the Akashic waters and released. And I want you to speak sensual poetry to the water. I want you to cup water or take a bowl or a jug and speak sensual wordsmithery of your purification, of your energy to be healed, of the energy to merge your true heart, to be whole, to be healed. And then you need to kind of pour that water over you. That's this massage. It's a kind of emotional massage, ablution, bathing ritual, sensual frequency. You know, I don't know, put flowers in the water, but light candles. It's a great need to just heal your heart in water, really in water. And then I feel like there's something else that comes after that. What comes after that? What comes after that for Taurus? What comes after that for Taurus? It's really funny. I already see the card down the bottom. Phallus. And one here, antimony. So Phallus is the law of unintended consequences. It's a kind of energetic tantric sophistication. What comes? Something unexpected that's energetically tantric, that's a surprise, that's coming. They're saying it's like an energetic erection. And it's so funny because then on top of this card there is something, again, they both have a protrusion. There is something about this merging and then kind of creating this energy. It's not much that you have to go through, but it brings you home to yourself. It brings back a kind of the wild aspects of your soul, your heart being more instinctual, your drive to run wild. Look, see, you, in the runes, Ur is the wild ox. And the wild ox is freedom, that which can't be tamed. You've been tamed, and you're not meant to be tamed. How dare someone think they can tame you? It's time to break all the fences of the rodeo or wherever it is that your paradise has been lost, and it's time to run free in your own mountains. No one can tame you. They can be with you, they can enjoy the pleasure of you, but no one again gets to tame Taurus. That's what I have for you, Taurus. So, wassail and happy healing.